Hello. Good evening, sir.
Mm.
Ultimately, a film is a political pamphlet. It is said by Ritvik Ghatak. Do you subscribe to that statement?
Uh, Film is, I think, is individual to everyone. They can't. One statement cannot define what it is.
But nowadays, what do you
I
are saying?
subscribe to every statement. Vis-a-vis film, I subscribe to anyone's perspective and point of view because it's theirs. Because the magic of art is that we are diverse and we are contrary to each other and we are at conflict with each other with our point of views, and that's what the beauty of it is, that we have to see it for what it is, and if I have to say something, I'm free to say it. So I subscribe to any filmmakers, any statement that they say, because if that is truly representing in their work.
But over the years, things have changed in India. That's why whether there's still now the relevance of statement is stands.
See, absolutely. Like today we saw a classic, right? Which still stands the test of time. But change is something you can't wish away. Change is the only constant I have known now. Things will change. Tomorrow something else will come in that we are not prepared for. We'll get excited with it and we'll start regretting it for a few years down the line. I'm saying we were so excited with smartphones. We are not so excited anymore, not all of us. Because sometimes it takes away a lot of my time. It also makes me so accessible more than I want to be. Sometimes I don't have my own time as much as I would do earlier. And the worst is, Google has made my reading less. Because one can Google everything, they read less. So, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. Maybe we'll go through some other change. We can't wish that away.
Because we all belongs to WhatsApp University and
Yeah. There'll be something else.
Facebook University.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sir, yesterday you complimented Malayalam cinema by saying that even the mainstream in Malayalam is more artistic. Where you feel so? My second question is regarding Jean-Luc Godard said, cinema is 22 frames per second truth. But in the time of post-truth, what would be it like?
See, 22 frames per second, 24 frames per second. Now we are living in a digital age. So it is probably a lot of pixels per image now. So it really, I think we need to get over our nostalgia. And when we get over the nostalgia, we actually will live in current times. Because if you ask me, and you probably clap to things I might say, but I can't deal with my own self many a times, which you don't know. Many times I sit on a table wanting to write and I can't write. I can't write. I can't. I have my own other struggles in life that I'm dealing with. So when we have this nostalgia of what it used to be, I also have this nostalgia, like what cinema I grew up watching, or that film festival that I went to. And then I see a lot of films that I just don't relate to or I can't deal with. When I look back at how I was different from my father. From my father and me, there was a one generation gap. But between me and my daughter, the generation gap is changing every year. It's as many generations of mobile phones. So we have 15 generation gap between me and my daughter, and there was one generation gap between me and my father.
Okay.
So the world has changed so much.
Okay.
So I like to listen to young people. Because, the young people is going to tell us how the world is going to shape out.
Sir, very good evening. As you told, today Hindi films are struggling to get its roots. One thing what I noticed is, I don't know what is your opinion on that one. Today there is songs missing in Hindi films. It's only limited to YouTube end credentials or promo songs. So your stand on missing of these songs, which was very integral part of the Hindi films, right from black and white era. Another thing, You had made an acting debut with Nayantara in Tamil film. Can we see you in Malayalam film also as an actor and also director? Yeah, thank you.
I'll say I love music, but I don't mind songs missing from a lot of Hindi films today because today's songs are written less to express and more to sell. You know, earlier songs were written by poets who had a lot to say. You listen to those songs, even if the song was not about the state of the nation, it was just about a man-woman equation. There was so much expression, and there's so much more. Today's songs are about various sounds, and they're supposed to be dancing songs. If they don't work in a disco, then they don't sell, right? So I'm happy that sometimes songs are not there. But when I watch, say, a Vishal Bhardwaj film, I want songs to be there. When I watch somebody's films, I want songs to be there. And yeah, in the sense, songs have to be about something much more than just a 5-minute customary song. And I'm glad that filmmakers are not doing that when there's no space for it. When there's space for it, they should work on it and they should put it out there. I love a good song. I can't make films without songs much. So, but I don't miss it if it's not part of the narrative. And when it comes to acting, I actually hate acting. So I was asked to play 2 different roles in Malayalam films by 2 friend filmmakers. And I have a lot of time, I was busy. Lijo wanted me to do something and Rajiv Ravi wanted me to do something. So, but it didn't happen. It did not happen because of the time constraints. So the offers keep coming, but I hate acting.
Hi, sir. We have, sir, talked about the movies, like how the changes happened in each industry. Even Malayalam had such kinds of, like 17s and 18s, we had Bharathan sir, Lohit sir. Then again, in 90s, we had Priyadarshan sir, and all those generations. And we had in between, we have lost somewhere, and now this new era had come with new things of movie making and even the concept too. But I will cite an example. When we make a classic or a good movie from Malayalam to other languages, especially, they make in the sense of like a mass or a entertainer or more of compromising many things, and speak about that the people in that area or in that industry like that way. But can I ask you something, like, is it the movie makers should change first, thinking about the viewers, what is their interest, and think about that viewers won't like this way? When we have seen the Tamil movie has changed a long back, and then the Malayalam movie, along with the viewers, accepted that. The generation in IFFK and the applause we get for the movies, even without a background score or a song, says all these things that the viewers also will change. So it's not the duty or the work thing of movie makers should change, not thinking what audience or underestimating the viewers.
No, I'm of the belief that they both need to coexist. If filmmakers don't make the mass entertainers, the money does not come into the industry, and the other kind of filmmakers don't find money to make films. It's like sometimes I do mainstream stuff. It allows me to help a lot of first-time filmmakers who are not doing very mainstream stuff. Because one thing funds the other. In the sense, they both need to coexist for it to be a healthy film economy. I keep telling people that we are so fortunate to be making movies in India, that we have the mainstream to support the art house as well. If you go outside the country where they make 5 to 10 films a year or sometimes 15, 20 films a year, and all the money comes from private funding, and the filmmakers spend 5 to 10 years just raising money to make one film. When you will see that, you will be very happy to come back here and make a movie. So I think both needs to coexist. I just want filmmakers to do what they want to do the best and not sometimes think of anything else, because the audience automatically connects with the truth. Any kind of a truth. It could be the mainstream masala also. It doesn't matter. When filmmakers often falter when they start making a formula. When they often, what this is like, this is what has worked last year, so let's make this. That's where the dishonesty sets in. Whether it's mainstream or non-mainstream. But I think all needs to coexist. Even bad television gives money that comes back in the industry that brings us something so somebody can do some good short film.
So first of all, I'm a huge fan. So nowadays we can see people are more focused on the political aspect of the film, political layer, political correctness. So we can see that. So more than the medium, I think. So how you define filmmaking and film according to you? Have you give more importance to medium or the politics?
No, for me, it's the person. I go and watch a film for the filmmaker. I don't go and watch a film for a particular star or anyone else unless there's some actors who I, over a period of time, start to believe they pick good films.
So what about the producers viewpoint?
I only watch a film by who's the filmmaker. I always watch the film because for me, I'm interested in the man who's made the film, who's authored the film, what he has to say. And if that affects me or not, if that changes me or not, or if that entertains me or not. So,
And also producing by yourself, I think the benefit of that. Can you describe?
just to control the telling of the story. Because then the fight is my own. Sometimes what happens is when there's a producer who's under pressure with my movie, so for him the money comes first. So he won't find the best possible solution. He'll find an easy solution, which has happened to me in the past. I made a movie called Man Marziyan, which was a mainstream movie. I was not in the country and the distributor just cut out whatever was creating a problem without even me knowing about it. I find out from the press. So not to be in that situation, where at least I know if there's a conflict, I'm across the table. I can either fight it, or if I come to a solution, it'll be the creative solution that I arrive at, which does not destroy the essence of my film. So I have not become a producer to make more money. I've become a producer so that I can control my expression or protect filmmakers. So that's the only reason.
Good evening, sir. Here. Hi. So my question for you is, like, I heard you speak and I figured that you believe that we are reading less and we are more on our phones, so we are actually straying a bit away from our cultures. So me being from the 18 to 25 demographic, I agree with you. I recently told my friend that films are a very essential medium to make sure our cultures are still thriving, right? But the thing is that it is becoming more and more impractical to stick to your own culture. Every culture has its own nuance, things which are only there, which many people wouldn't know about. So I don't understand, like, what would be your fine line where one still sticks to his culture yet embraces the Eurocentric standards?
I'm more of an observer of like how people are doing things. I came to terms with it quite some time back because I could not convince my own daughter to come and watch films on the screen with me because she prefers to watch it on a laptop. And after lots of arguments, I realized this is it. And then I was talking to somebody and they said, you know what? We are the migrants to this whole digital world. They are the natives. So our children are the natives, you know, they're born to it. For them, it's like as natural as eating food with your hand. So they are the natives. And when they will watch they have the same sense of joy watching it on a laptop that you have watching it on screen. So you are having a nostalgia. You live in a nostalgia. So you deal with it. But you can't change them. So the thing is, that's when I realized that I will make anything I do, even if it's a commercial or anything, I'll make it like a movie. You choose to watch where you want to watch it. I don't want to control that. But I will make everything like I'm making a film. It doesn't matter where it shows. So that's the kind of the point I came to terms with. So when it comes to the future and when it comes to the now and culture in the sense, I'm more of an observer. I want to watch it. I'm not the one who's going to decide it for anyone. I don't want to, I don't have the need to force you to watch certain thing a certain way or do certain thing a certain way. I'm more curious to see how you are thinking. I'm more curious into how people look at the world. I'm more curious about that. I don't want to control anybody's thought process.
So one more question for you, like as an artist, you said that after you directed Black Friday, you got more clever, and then you decided to bypass certain stuff, right? So as an artist, this may or may not compromise with your integrity of the art, right? So like when you make something and then the end product is something else, and then you feel like, oh, this is not exactly what I had in mind, then how would you cope with that?
See, my struggles are very different. My struggle is, it's like when I want to do something, I'm being told not to do it for the reasons. My struggle is there. What you're talking about is not an artist. Like probably 90% people sitting here are artists. So artists doesn't get, there's no 1 to 10 scale of it, right? As an artist, everybody does the best they can do or want to do. Nobody deliberately wants to do mediocre work. So what you're saying is probably it's a great artist. I'm not a great artist. I don't identify with being a great artist. I like to make movies. And I like to watch movies. I like to watch read other people's literature. I like to know more. So my struggles are very different there. My struggles are only when I'm told not to do something that I want to do. That's where my struggle begins. And my struggle is limited to getting to that point where I get to do what I want to do. That's where it ends.